it's Rob Gill, Rob GillT channel, buying a house step by step. And in this part 2, we're going to talk about finance. We're going to talk a little bit about, we've looked at the house, we've seen the house, we've decided that this is the house we're going to buy. Okay, now we're going to put the offer in with the agent, and we'll go into the offer in the next video. But right now, we're going to talk about finance. So, in this video, effectively what I want to tell you about is, if you walk into a home, you found the home you like, you love it to bits and all the rest of it, and you haven't prepared your finance, guess what's going to happen? Someone else could come in, swoop in and grab it out from underneath you, because in your little offer to purchase, which we'll discuss in the next video, there's a little thing called the 72-hour clause, 3-day clause. Somebody comes in with cash, somebody comes in with a pre-approved bond that really wants the house, makes an offer 10 Rand more than you have, and they can effectively give you 3 days to get the money. So do yourself a favor, go out there and get yourself pre-approved before you go and start looking at the properties if you can. Okay, well, you can start looking, but get yourself pre-approved in the meantime. What that does is it's like having a cash amount to go and buy the house. All right, because when you go to the bank, all they have to do then is effectively go to the house, inspect it, make sure everything's fine as far as the value goes, and give you the bond accordingly. And that's it. Don't think that when the bank says we're giving you 100% bond that that's what you're getting, because if the house doesn't meet the value, you're not getting 100% bond. There's a lot of factors that go into what 100% bond is. And also remember, if you want a 6 million Rand loan, there's no way on earth you're getting 100%. The maximum there is 80%. So don't look at that. And then also, if you're not a resident of the country, if you're not South African citizen, there's also issues that come into play there. You're going to get a 75% bond, sometimes 50%. So don't think that you're always going to get all the money. So be careful of that as well. Keep in mind that you also need to pay the costs. Okay, there's transfer fees involved, and transfer fees can be a lot of money. That's the money that goes to the government. Okay, then there's a separate amount that you've got to pay to the lawyers, right? That's their fee. That never gets waived, by the way. You always have to pay that. So when it says no transfer fees, doesn't mean you don't have to pay the lawyers. And if you're getting a bond, you've got to pay those conveyances as well. Okay, so when it comes to financing, make sure that you've got the money ready, because otherwise you ain't getting the house, right? And here's another little tip for you. Now you want to get finance, go and use a bond originator, because if you go and say, I'll get a bond from my own bank because my own bank loves me to bits, they think I'm the bee's knees. Well, no, they don't, you're just a number. When you go there, you make a mistake in your application, or there's something slightly wrong. Believe me, when they reject you, you can go to every bank on earth, you're not going to get a bond there. So rather go to a bond originator, let them cross all the T's, dot all the I's, go to all the banks, okay? They're going to come back to you with offers from all the banks, your bank and all the other banks. And surprisingly enough, don't be disappointed when your bank rejects you and all the other banks give you an offer, okay? That's going to happen, and it can happen. So expect that. So your best route is to go through an originator. It's not going to cost you a cent, it's going to cost the banks, okay? And they're going to make sure that everything is at the same time, so that if one rejects you, the other ones have still made you an offer, you can still get a loan for your property. Do yourself a favor, don't bother even trying if you've got a bad credit history. If you've got a bad credit history, you're not getting a bond. There isn't a bank on earth that's going to touch you. So it is difficult to get around that. There are one or two options, a way around it now these days. You know, if it's something small, something very little, or whatever the case, there are one or two banks that might sort of work around it. But the best way to work around it, use an originator, because that's your best way around this whole scenario. Okay. So now that you've got your financing ready, you can now walk into a property, put down the offer that you want to put down, and effectively tell the client, I've got the money. Okay, it's like having cash. Obviously, if you've got cash, big bonus, but don't think it's better to have cash than to have a pre-approved bond, because it's the same money to the guy on the other side. He's still getting paid no matter what. It might take a week longer, no big deal. I'm still getting paid the money, okay? So whether you're giving me cash or whether your bank is giving me cash, it's still the same money. It's not like you're giving it to me in a bag. You're not allowed to do that anyway. So a lot of people will come along and say, I've got cash, I'm a cash buyer. I'm so happy for you, very pleased. Pre-approved buyer and a cash buyer is very much the same thing, okay? A pre-approved buyer has got that amount of money, approved and guaranteed by the bank, and will probably get the loan. So use that to your advantage. So don't worry about the cash buyers that are coming in on your side and you've got to go and get a bond. As long as you've pre-approved your bond, you're in the pound seats. You can put down the offer and say, I've got the money, I want to buy this house now. Give me this money, give me this house, okay? Now you're in negotiation and you can negotiate with the seller properly. You're not playing games, you're not subject to the sale of your house, you're not hoping to get a bond and you're not sure if you're going to get one or not, knowing that you've got something in the province in the background and whatnot. You know you've got the money. And if you've got a tax problem to sort out, make sure that's well and truly gone before you even try and apply for a bond as well. Okay, tax problems will not only hold your loan application up, but they'll also hold up your transfer of the deed. Okay, it's not going to happen if there's a tax issue. So make sure all that's all cleared up as well. So that's a little bit about financing, a little bit about having the money to buy the home and whatnot. And in the next video, we'll look more into the intricacies of now making the offer and getting into that. So that's your buying a house step by step for this week. It's all about finance. And do me a favor, go down, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're on YouTube, like my Facebook page if you're on Facebook, or like me on Instagram if you can. You know, Instagram is there, it all comes down, you can see all the details there. On YouTube, it's in the box below, and you can make a comment. Please make comments. I love comments. A little bit of interaction is always great. And on Facebook, obviously, you know, like, share, comments, all there. Okay, till next time, till part 3, see you later.